Now let's look at filling slightly larger areas. So I'm going to fill in this area here with what's called the long and short stitch, which is very similar to the satin stitch, but you use stitches of different lengths and is basically the main stitch that is used in thread painting. It would help if I'd threaded my needle, wouldn't it? So I've already drawn some guidelines on for my long and short stitch. These ones going down here are showing me the direction of the stitch I should be doing, and these ones across here are going to show me how long I should be doing the stitches, whereabouts to place them. You don't have to do long and short stitch like this. It just creates quite a precise look. Often when I am using this long and short stitch for thread painting, I freestyle it. I just sort of put the stitches where they feel right. But I just thought I would do it with as much guidance as possible in this instance. Right, so let's get stitching. We need to anchor our thread. Job done. So for the first stitch, I've come down to the first horizontal line. And so my second stitch is coming out at this second horizontal line, and I'm going to go back up to the top, quite near where my first stitch was, but I think I can fit some stitches in between. Right, okay, now I'm continuing the thread saving method. So if I finish the stitch at the top, the next stitch will start at the top. If I finish the stitch at the bottom, the next stitch will start at the bottom, and this just saves us on thread. So I'm going here, and I am now going to bring the thread all the way down to the bottom. And now I'm at the bottom. I'm going to put the next stitch next to, the next stitch next to this one. There we go. And come up to the top. Now I'm at the top. I will put and so my needle comes out here, and I'm going to go down to the third line here. And my needle's at the bottom, so I'm starting at the bottom, and I'm going to go up here. And the reason you stagger the lines is that if you were to just finish on a straight line like I've done here, and then wanted to fill in this section, you would see this line here, and it would look very blocky. So by using long and short stitches, you're sort of blurring that line, and it makes the whole thing look a lot smoother when you're filling in large areas. It's also a good way to blend colours, which I... So now this bit is filled in, but it's very bumpy along the edge. So the way that you sort of fill that in is then you can start from the bottom of your shape, or you might need to put a few layers of stitching in, but we'll go like this. And then we just join up to where the last stitch was. It's a very long stitch, that one. And then look, there's one here. So we bring the needle. Again, same applies for saving thread by working. If your stitch went down into the bottom, last stitch went down into the bottom, you then start your next stitch from the bottom, and it just means